And you know what else I've been waiting probably longer than all offseason?
Tell me.
The college football playoff is expanding. The thing that I want to see happen is to see everybody that talks a big game have to back it up. Now, obviously, that comes with expanding the playoffs, but how about this? The college football playoff expansion format is going to be shaken up due to all the conference realignment. The 10 FBS commissioners and Notre Dame's athletic director, Jack Swarbrick, who gets a seat at this table for reasons. I don't understand them, but reasons. Met Wednesday to discuss the future of college football playoff in a meeting that was described as cordial, but with a backdrop of uncertainty still looming over the league leaders. This according to ESPN reporting. College football executive director Bill Hancock. Think he has a good signature? Herbie Hancock.
You have to.
Shout out to the fans of Tommy Boy out there. To the matter, this is from Bill Hancock. To the matter of conference realignment, we are going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait until the dust settles before making any decisions about how that might affect college football playoff. Here's what I don't like. I don't like that instead of making rules that apply no matter what happens to conference football realignment, you're waiting until the dust settles. Now, they're looking at the ACC and saying, "Are you gonna not bring in Stanford, Cal, and SMU?" But I'm looking at the college football playoff and saying this: I think the guaranteed buys, I think the guaranteed entries, the auto bids, I think the home field advantage, they should be tied to conference champions based on the quality of your conference that year. So listen to this. Instead of saying the 5 highest rated conference champions or whatever, say the conference bids or the auto bids go to the champions of conferences that have the best winning percentage as a conference or that have the most ranked teams from that conference. Because that way, it doesn't matter if the Pac-12 is in existence or not. It doesn't matter if the ACC is expanded or not. It just matters how good the teams are in your conference that year.
I don't know. There's a lot of subjectivity to that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of subjectivity to just picking conferences that always get conference champions in.
I see what you're saying, but okay, if you're going based off rankings, then okay, whose rankings?
I mean, the college football playoff rankings.
Okay, college football playoff rankings. Okay, so you're factoring that in. All right, win percentage.
The teams that make the college football playoff are always subjective.
Yeah.
By the college football playoff rankings. I wish we could do a round robin and have everyone play everyone, but there's not enough days on the calendar, and unless it makes a whole bunch of money, they would say we can't do it for player safety. If it makes enough money, they would forget player safety.
Of course.
But I say that for this reason. My sole goal for every realignment or every college football playoff shake-up decision is to make teams back up their boasts, right? When we're talking about the ACC and what they may or may not do, every time we have the conversation, Florida State fans are in our YouTube comments saying, Florida State has carried the ACC for 30 years, and I'm going like, well, the last 6, they haven't. If you want to say you're carrying the ACC, guess what? Carry the ACC, right? And the same is true. If the SEC and the Big Ten want to say we should be above everyone because we're so much better than everyone, I'm going, fine, be better than everyone. Then you'll get all the advantages. We're not just going to say you are better. We're not just going to say, yeah, most years you are, so here you go every year. Be the best conference. You'll get the best perks. Then on the years where you're not the best conference, there's nothing you can say. Back up what you are boasting about, and I'm fine with it. Right? Back up what you're boasting about, and I'm completely okay with it. It's the equivalent of the incentive-laden contract. Right? You want to get paid a lot, go win a lot. And then we can all stop all this mess. It's the problem. The problem right now is everyone in college football has a very, very, very inflated sense of self. And it's right. Everybody thinks they're better than they are. Everyone thinks they're more valuable than they are. Everyone thinks the fans care more about them than everyone else. And everyone thinks it might be true, but it might not. Let's figure it out. That's why I like the idea of in the ACC expansion, if you have $55 extra million from the adding of Stanford and Cal and them taking partial shares, if you just go, all right, here's the thing. We want teams that win. We want teams that are popular. We want teams that bring in TV ratings. Let's give $10 million to whoever wins, $5 million to whoever finishes in second, $10 million to whoever gets the best TV ratings, $10 million to whoever gets the most positive notes and impact on social media. That's what $35 million. We have $20 million to spare. Chop that up, give it to everybody else. Right? Like be creative in that way to where we don't just have to listen to Florida State and Clemson fans say, we're the most popular. Like, all right, well, let's figure it out. Let's find a way to measure it and give the money where it should go. Mm-hmm. We have to wait to see where conference realignment shakes out before we change the college football playoff. Well, how about this? Before we wait till we see where it shakes out, let's set the criteria so when it shakes out, it's not, okay, well, now I want to give it to this buddy or this friend or this political ally. It's, okay, we've already set the criteria. The conference that fulfills these things gets the most perks, gets the most bids, gets the highest seed, gets the most home games. It's not just we give it to the SEC. You might give it to the SEC, but they have to win. They have to back it up. They have to play well. Make it, I don't know, fair. Make it not arbitrary, like what Dennis was saying. It's arbitrary to just go, these 4 conferences get the auto bids. What if 15 years from now those conferences stink? And you might go, there's no way. Well, guess what? You would have said there's 0% chance the Pac-12 stinks in 2003. Less than 20 years later, it's not in existence.
I don't know. My thing is you have to have, in my opinion, conference champions do need to matter.
I agree. That's why I'm saying the conference champions from the best conferences that year.
Yeah. Well, now the rules, the way they are written, say just the top 6 conference champions. Doesn't necessarily mean like Power 5 plus 1. We're just making that assumption.
No, I completely agree with that, and I want that to be guaranteed now. Why does it matter if you're waiting for conference shakeup?
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're not going to make the changes until they see where the dust settles. I'm going, wait, why does it matter where the dust settles? Unless you care about which conference is which. If they wanted to just say, no matter who the conference champions are, the top 6 ranked conference champions get in, I'm kind of cool with that. The problem is there's the whole bye week thing, which there's not 6 buys.
Yeah.
I want the buys to go to the conferences that are best. If you want an SEC, like Notre Dame can have a bye. I'm fine with that. You're not in a conference.
Yeah.
If the SEC wants the bye, you better be one of the 4 best teams, best conferences out there. Most years, if not all years, you will be. But I don't see, that's probably why you should be okay doing it, right? And I'll look at the SEC in the face and say, you keep saying how everything's bigger and better in your conference, be bigger and better, and you won't have anything to worry about. That's what I'm getting at. And the same is true, like I said, for ACC expansion. If Florida State and Clemson are carrying the ACC like they say they are, maybe they should be compensated more. But I'm not just going to take their word for it. I actually want to see it played out.